Hello, this is Richard Jacobs from Speakeasy Marketing. Today I'm going to talk about a question I get asked all the time, which is how much should we budget for marketing, or how much should we budget for this particular form of marketing? So I'm not going to tell you that budgets are bad. Budgets are good because it helps you keep control of your cash flow and your numbers and make sure you're not overspending. But here is where a lot of people go wrong when they set up a budget. They think, we'll do 2% of our gross revenue, or we'll do $1,000 a month, and let's see what we get from that. So that's okay. That's an okay way to budget. But a far better way is to look at how much is it going to cost for us to acquire a customer. So I'm going to explain what that means. Let's say you do bankruptcy, okay? How much is the average bankruptcy client worth to you? I would guess about $2,500. Chapter 7s may be a lot different from Chapter 13s. Okay? Let's say you do DUI. How much is an average DUI case worth to you? Well, you may say, depends on the facts. Does it go to trial? Do I have to hire experts, etc.? Pick a low-level case. So you're being conservative. Pick one that doesn't go to trial. Maybe it's a first-time DUI, nothing special. So in that case, again, we may be at $2,500. We may be at $3,000, just to be fair. Let's say you do auto accidents, okay? Would you take a case for anything less than $10,000 to you after it settles? Would you take a case for anything less than $5,000 to you? So you got to know your numbers here. Once you know how much the average client is worth to you, and we're talking about lower end, now you can start thinking about budget, okay? Let's say, again, for the sake of this discussion, average client is worth to you $3,000, all right? How much are you prepared to spend in marketing to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 clients a month? How many clients are you getting right now? Write that number down, great. Now, how many more do you want to get each month by using marketing? When you decide on that number, now you know, okay, if I want to get 5 more clients a month and I make $3,000 on each, I want to get another $15,000 in gross revenue into my practice. Now, how much am I willing to spend each month to get that? Logic would say, let's say your margins are pretty good and you keep most of that money. You have low office expenses. Logic would actually say that you may want to spend as much as $8,000 or $10,000 a month to get that $15,000. Now, I know you're going to say that's crazy, that's way too expensive. That's fine. We're not going to stop there. What would logic say about $5,000 to make $15,000? Would that be good? How about $3,000? How about $2,000? How about $1,000 to make $15,000? Now we've got a 15-to-1 ROI, return on investment. And that's how you should set your budget. You should say, what kind of ROI do I want, and what kind of ROI is reasonable? Now, I'm going to tell you, some people have unrealistic expectations. A 3-to-1 is probably the minimum that you'll want because you have expenses and things aren't perfect. It may cost you more with advertising until you understand a particular form of advertising. Let's say Google AdWords or SEO or buying leads or, stimulating referrals, etc. So you want to leave some wiggle room. So I would say 3-to-1 ROI is a good, safe bet. And if I can get you 3-to-1 ROI, if an advertising method can get you 3-to-1 ROI, meaning for every dollar you spend on marketing, you get $3 back, how much should your budget be? Well, logic would say as much as humanly possible. It's as if you had a machine where you put $1 in and you got $3 back. You'd want to use that machine over and over and over and over until it blew up, just like a slot machine in Vegas, a guaranteed one. The upper end of ROI sometimes maybe as much as 7-to-1, rare cases 10-to-1. But if you look in the 3 to 7-to-1 range, that's probably realistic. To be even more realistic, let's say 3 to 5-to-1, okay? 3-to-1, 4-to-1, or 5-to-1. That's really what you want your marketing to bring into you. So now let's go back again. So we want to get 5 clients a month in addition, and we make an average of $3,000 per client. So We get a possible upside of $15,000 a month. Now, how much should our budget be for marketing? Well, again, basing it on ROI, not just a percentage that someone told us we should spend, or a management consultant told us we should spend, or something we read from a textbook, or something that we just feel comfortable with. Let's look at the ROI. So 3 to 1 would be $5,000. 5 to 1 would be $3,000. So I would say you should spend between $3,000 and $5,000 a month, with the hopes and the expectation of getting 15. Now, let's take it a little bit further. What most people do is they'll set a budget and then they never look at the budget and they never track how their investment is doing, their invested money. So they'll hire a vendor, SEO, pay-per-click, whatever it is, and they'll just start paying them. And they'll hope for a return, but they won't have calculated how much they want, and they won't have looked at, well, we're spending this and we're getting this many clients, so our ROI so far is this. They're not looking at that. And that's when you have problems, because your spending then gets away from you. You figured out your budget, you don't think about it again. Now an entire year can go by. Maybe you've even signed a 1-year agreement you're locked into. Now you've lost control of your advertising. Now it's a problem. Now, because you don't track it, because you haven't thought about these numbers beforehand, and you don't monitor it as it goes on, all you can go on is gut feeling. All you can say is, well, I think it's working okay, or it feels like it's working okay, or I don't think we're getting much, or it doesn't feel like we're getting much. And who wants that? Who wants that uncertainty and that fear on spending more, that fear that they've made the wrong decision and now they're stuck? And I'm sure you know that fear. We've all done it. I do it. I've done it. I don't know of an attorney I've ever talked to that hasn't done this. But let's put this away. Let's stop that fear, and let's do things in a way that's going to make you feel better and put you in control of your advertising. And again, the principles here are deciding how much a customer is worth to you, how much you're willing to spend to get that customer, which will create the ROI that you want, tracking the marketing that you're doing and seeing what results it's getting. And then another part is now course correcting. So let's say you start a marketing campaign, you've decided how much you want and ROI you want, and it's not working. Not working meaning you're only getting 1-to-1, or you're getting 50% to 1, or maybe you're even getting 2-to-1, but you're just not at that 3-to-1. What do? Do you just stop doing it and give up? No. Now you want to course correct. You want to make adjustments to your advertising. You want to try different things within it. Let's say you're doing direct mail. Well, let's rewrite that letter. Maybe let's send that letter twice. Maybe let's put the letter in a bulky envelope. Maybe you're doing SEO. And you're getting okay return but not great return. What can you do? Well, let's find out. Let's talk to our vendor. Maybe we add more content to the site. Maybe we redesign the site. Maybe we add on a practice area. Pay-per-click. Are we bidding on the right keywords? Should we do more keywords, less keywords, different keywords, etc.? Now you're in course correction mode. Now you know what's going to happen? Wherever you start off at, you're going to end at in a much better position. And if you don't want to think about how to do this course correction, you got to rely on your vendor, and that's fine. But you got to have this dialogue with them. You got to tell them your expectation, and you got to keep course correcting and adjusting until you get there. And if you do that, you're going to be ahead of, I would say, probably 95% of all other attorneys that don't do this. So I hope this discussion on budgets, ROI, and tracking and testing your advertising has been helpful to you. If you'd like to continue the discussion, you're welcome to call 888-225-8594 or go to speakeasymarketinginc.com. Take care.